Walking is often dismissed as a simple, low-impact activity, but its effects on the body's metabolism are both profound and precise. Every time the legs move, the muscles demand energy, and the body responds by mobilizing stored nutrients, including fats and cholesterol. Low-density lipoprotein, often labeled bad cholesterol, carries lipids through the bloodstream to tissues that need energy or repair. During physical activity, these LDL particles are no longer idle. They become part of an orchestrated process where energy is extracted, transported, and utilized efficiently. Muscles act as dynamic engines, signaling to the liver and adipose tissue to release triglycerides and cholesterol for immediate use. This creates a system of continuous exchange where cholesterol is not merely a static molecule in the blood, but a participant in metabolic flow. Walking also triggers the release of enzymes that help break down these fats, converting them into forms that can be burned as fuel rather than deposited in arteries. Even moderate walking, performed consistently, reshapes the distribution of lipids, subtly lowering LDL levels over time while maintaining the essential balance required for cellular repair, hormone production, and membrane integrity. Importantly, this process happens gradually and harmoniously, without stress or strain, reflecting the body's preference for rhythm and consistency over intensity. Each step sends a signal through muscles, nerves, and hormonal pathways that communicates energy demand and metabolic readiness, reinforcing the body's capacity to manage cholesterol efficiently. The elegance of this interaction reminds us that movement is not merely exercise, it is a form of biological communication, a dialogue between muscle, blood, and molecular pathways. Through walking, LDL is transformed from a potential risk factor into an active contributor to energy homeostasis, demonstrating how simple, intentional movement can reshape the body's chemistry in ways that are subtle, cumulative, and profoundly health-promoting. While low-density lipoprotein plays a complex role in energy delivery, high-density lipoprotein, often called good cholesterol, serves as the body's cleanup crew, and walking has a subtle but powerful effect on its function. Each stride stimulates muscle contraction, which in turn increases circulation and promotes enzymatic activity that helps HDL mobilize excess cholesterol from tissues and arterial walls. This process, known as reverse cholesterol transport, allows HDL to carry lipids back to the liver where they can be processed safely and eliminated from the body or repurposed for essential functions. Walking does not merely increase HDL quantity, it enhances its efficiency, improving the particle's ability to locate, bind, and transport cholesterol. The rhythmic movement of walking also encourages gentle fluctuations in blood flow that increase shear stress on the endothelium, further signaling the body to optimize lipid metabolism. Beyond these mechanical effects, regular walking influences the balance of hormones and enzymes involved in cholesterol regulation, including lipoprotein lipase, which helps break down triglycerides for energy, and lecithin cholesterol acyltransferase, which assists HDL in collecting cholesterol. These biochemical changes reduce the likelihood of cholesterol accumulating in the arteries, protecting against plaque formation and cardiovascular stress. The cumulative effect is both immediate and long-term. Even a short, consistent daily walk can gradually shift the ratio of LDL to HDL toward a more protective profile. Over weeks and months, this consistent activity reinforces the body's natural capacity to maintain lipid homeostasis, demonstrating that movement is not just an external action, but a dialogue with metabolic systems. In this way, walking becomes a deliberate signal that guides HDL to perform its vital role, keeping arteries clear, supporting heart health, and quietly reinforcing the resilience of the circulatory system over time. Walking is more than a mechanical movement of legs. It profoundly shapes the behavior of blood within the arteries, influencing the very walls that carry life-sustaining oxygen and nutrients. Each step generates subtle changes in blood flow velocity, creating shear forces that act upon endothelial cells, the delicate lining of blood vessels.
These cells are highly responsive to mechanical signals, and in response to the gentle friction of flowing blood, they release nitric oxide, a molecule that relaxes vessel walls, improves elasticity, and prevents unnecessary constriction. Over time, this process enhances the ability of arteries to accommodate blood flow efficiently, reducing stress on the heart and minimizing the likelihood of plaque accumulation. Walking also helps maintain consistent pressure gradients within the vascular network, which encourages the even distribution of cholesterol and other lipids, preventing localized buildup that can trigger arterial blockages. These effects are subtle, often unnoticed in the moment, but they accumulate, quietly reinforcing vascular health with every step. Beyond mechanical stimulation, the movement stimulates a cascade of biochemical signals that reduce oxidative stress and improve endothelial function, two critical factors in maintaining clear, flexible vessels. The rhythmic pattern of walking harmonizes with the natural pulses of the circulatory system, creating a synchrony between heart, vessels, and blood that supports not only the transport of oxygen, but also the management of cholesterol and other fats. This synergy illustrates that walking is not just a cardiovascular activity, but a molecular conversation where motion informs cellular behavior, and cellular behavior shapes long-term health. In this way, each step becomes an act of maintenance, ensuring that arteries remain supple, cholesterol is managed effectively, and the circulatory system operates with efficiency, demonstrating that simple, consistent movement can create profound and lasting benefits for heart and vascular function over a lifetime. Walking affects the body in ways that extend far beyond simple movement, touching processes that influence inflammation, hormonal balance, and metabolic function, all of which are closely intertwined with cholesterol regulation. Each step engages muscles, stimulates circulation, and signals the body to respond with adaptive changes at both the cellular and systemic level. Regular walking helps reduce chronic low-grade inflammation, which is a known contributor to the oxidation of low-density lipoprotein and the formation of arterial plaques. By lowering inflammatory markers, walking indirectly protects the arteries, allowing cholesterol to circulate safely rather than contribute to blockages. At the same time, movement influences hormone levels, including insulin and cortisol, which play essential roles in lipid metabolism. Improved insulin sensitivity means the body can process glucose more efficiently, reducing the conversion of excess sugar into triglycerides, a type of fat closely related to cholesterol levels. Cortisol modulation through consistent moderate exercise also prevents the stress-related hormonal fluctuations that can elevate LDL and lower HDL. These combined effects demonstrate that cholesterol is not a static substance, but a dynamic participant in the body's response to overall metabolic health. Walking acts as a gentle regulator, coordinating multiple systems so that cholesterol can be processed and transported optimally. Even subtle daily routines create ripple effects throughout the body, enhancing the function of enzymes that guide cholesterol movement and maintaining the integrity of arterial walls. This illustrates the interconnected nature of health. Lipid levels are not determined by diet alone, but by a complex interplay of inflammation, hormones, blood flow, and cellular signaling. Walking, in this context, is a natural and elegant tool, a systemic intervention that influences cholesterol indirectly by harmonizing the physiological processes that govern how the body handles fats and maintain long-term cardiovascular health. The true power of walking lies not only in its effects on blood vessels or cholesterol levels, but in how it shapes the body's long-term metabolic intelligence, reinforcing patterns that sustain health over decades.